Hey guys, what's up? It's episode 105 where we're going to talk about Sal's trip to Vegas where he didn't get a hooker for $1,000 even if he would have won the lottery for $1.5 billion. We talk about some Cardinals baseball news along with everything we'd do if we won the lottery. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, Dan here. Welcome back to Professional Development. What episode is this?
105.
105?
Yeah.
Okay, I've missed the last, 8, 9?
No, you were here for episode 100.
100, so I missed the last 5, 4.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
That's
My
not
math
horrible.
skills aren't all the way there. But Matt's out today, so we got everybody, including
That's
myself.
2 weeks in a row for Matt Cresco, by the way.
I can't say anything because I've missed a fuck ton of episodes, but I'm back. One thing I want to mention before we get going, guys, is we appreciate you guys listening, but we definitely we're picking up steam. Like our videos on Instagram are getting more likes, more views, all this stuff, but we really want to continue to grow so we can get on some better guests. So if you could, please like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you got to do. I don't know, Brad, you want to add anything to that? But
No, I mean, literally, if you're taking the time to listen, we have a lot of people that say, oh, I turned my friend onto this. They really enjoy it. Keep doing that. Share it with as many people as you can. Repost on your Instagram stories. I mean, we're getting, like Dan said, we're getting great support across the board from all the platforms, but we have some pretty high goals that we're wanting to get to, and we're only going to get there with your guys' help.
yeah, and I mean, we all have people come up to us or say something like, oh, I found your podcast or I listened to your podcast. I love it. Like, it's great. Like, we truly believe that we have a great product, but we want to see that in asking you guys to help us out a little bit with, if you are going to share it or you do listen, but maybe you don't follow us on Instagram, or you follow us on Instagram, you don't subscribe on Apple, iTunes, or whatever it is.
Or if you're like Sal and
Yeah.
you never leave reviews or anything like that, even though you're on the podcast.
Oh my God.
A non-dues paying member of the podcast.
Yeah. So, I mean, we want this, we love doing this. We want to bring as much value to as many people as we possibly can. So just want to throw that out there because we actually ask Matt to do this pretty much every week, and he never brings it up.
He always waits to the end when nobody's listening.
Yeah. So at least give us like 20 minutes of your time and then cut out at the final 10.
We'll make sure that in the intro we'll say, just listen to Dan rant about subscribing to all of our content, and then I swear it'll get better.
I'll be on more if we can get more subscribers.
Okay, sounds good. We'll have you
That's the
lead off
incentive.
then. You'll be our lead off batter.
Yeah. All right. So current events.
Well, I think what we're all wondering is if Sal got laid in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay.
a great question.
I did not.
God
I don't
damn.
know.
Any war stories?
We got shit faced. It was a good time.
Yeah.
What club did you go to?
Omnia Friday night.
Steve Aoki?
No, it was Alessa.
Nice. Was that the $150 cover, or is that something different?
Well, so apparently since we had a table, we didn't have to pay cover. So
Oh.
I was shocked about that too. But
I think Matt's even mentioned that it's like a little more intimidating, a little bit harder to like land a girl in Vegas because
you can't tell if it's a hooker or not, bro.
dude, they're all
Or a dude.
No.
I mean, they're all like
There was one chick that was hitting
all
on me,
dressed
and then she was
up
like
and
$1
it's
grand. I'm like, I'm good.
Shut up.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
No way.
So Sal, wait, you were like, how did it go?
You were thinking you were macking hard and things
I
were
bought
going
her
well.
a drink, and she's like texting me. I was like, okay.
She was
like,
texting you?
Yeah. And I was
You
like,
got her number?
I was like, come
So
on.
he did have a story.
Yeah.
I did have one. But I was like, come up. And she was like, 1,000. I'm like, I'm good.
Did you try negotiating at all, or was
yeah,
it just
dude, I
like
was like 250.
hit her with that 75% discount?
No, then she comes back at 500, then you go to 375. And then
Actually,
it's
she did go down.
a done deal.
What'd she go down to?
what'd she go
5?
to?
Yeah, but I went to sleep.
She went to 500?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Wow, 1,000 to 500.
Yeah, you could've-
So just so
this
everybody
could've all
knows,
been
this is a
for
learning
content.
lesson.
Yes.
You were almost great at negotiating.
Start at half and go from there.
That's
You
amazing.
you should have asked about like a group rate. Like maybe you and a buddy could have gone in like halvesies on it.
I think I was the only single one there.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna spend, $70 to ride in a golf cart, like you were saying, you might as well spend 500.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
shorter ride.
Okay. So that kind of leads to something that happened in the last week that I think could have benefited Sal. Is if you would have won the $1.5 billion Powerball, what would have you done with the money?
So if I would have won, I would have paid my parents' mortgage off,
Oh, good guy, Sal.
get myself a house.
Would you pay her $1,000?
No.
You still would have paid her $1,000?
No.
You're a billionaire? Or you, after taxes, what are you getting? Like
No,
$650?
I think
Well, no,
I think
so
it ended
after
up being
tax-
like 473 million.
if you took the
If you took lump
the
sum.
lump sum.
But I mean, at that rate, you could have just take the annual like 35 million, and you would have been sitting pretty good.
so Sal, hold on.
Dan's gonna
175
drop
million.
the percentage on it of exactly how much it would have
If you make
impacted
3% a year, just putting that in an account, you make $14,250,000. Let's say that's $39,000 a day. I mean, you're still making money
Yeah.
just to give her $1,000, and
Even
you
if
still
you
wouldn't do
lasted a
it?
minute.
You wouldn't have done it.
No.
Oh, god damn!
Did you get her IG or something like that?
No, I got some other girls IG.
Are these
Who is
girls?
she?
Are these girls handing out like business cards? That's like.
They're flipping them.
Oh, no.
Don't they have like? Isn't that a thing?
They
Like,
do have
cards.
those,
So I'll be in Vegas for the first time in 2 weeks, and
I
I'm
haven't
not
received a
going to
card,
experience
though.
anything like that. But that's what I
Never
heard.
say never.
Yeah, I didn't receive any
I
cards.
definitely will not.
The first time I ever went, it was for my 21st birthday, and like all these dudes were like flipping these like cards for like hookers or
They're
whatever.
pros, man. Like, da, da, da,
But they don't do it
So
as
these are
much
pimps?
anymore. It's not.
No.
No, they're like paid.
promoters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They don't do it as much on the strip anymore. But one funny thing is my dad used to take them, and then he would go to his friends' houses,
And,
and
that's
he would
awesome.
he would like slip them in the couch cushions, and then he would leave. And then when the wife
That's
would
fucked
clean the
up.
fucking couch, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
So I got a story about that too, because back
That's
when
so
I was racing, we'd go out there every Halloween. I would get those cards. I would go back to Limburg in high school, and I would throw them in the fucking urinals. Like every time after I
Really?
race out there, I'd throw them in the fucking urinals. So people are probably like, "What the fuck is this thing in here?" You know?
Limburg High School?
Yeah. You probably had some creepy kid that like yanked it out and was like, "Okay, 1-800."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, Sal, pretty disappointed that that you don't have any great stories.
I mean,
Did you
Yeah.
lose money? Like, did you gamble?
oh no. Minimum was like $350, $500. I was like, I don't got that type of cash to like.
For
Where were you staying,
It
boy?
was a Wynn Hotel. So
Jeez.
like the tables I kept on seeing was just like $350.
That's the minimum?
He needed to go to, like,
I was
Circus
just like,
Circus or
I don't-
something.
I don't
Yeah,
have
dude.
that.
You
I
gotta
like
hit the
I like the
flamingo.
$5 blackjack tables. They probably
Old
don't
Town-
have those
Old
in
Town
Vegas.
Yeah.
Fremont Street's the fucking.
So
Dude, that's what I always did at River City. Just go there, like, okay, it's a $20. I was
So-
like, okay, but now they increased it to $25, $30. I was like, ooh, that's $10 extra. I'll in Campbellton.
so I actually hit the Powerball once.
Really?
Damn.
And it was our buddy Jake, that Brad knows, his wife also hit it because it was a company one. It was at my last job. And so like they took money and you could put in like $5, $10, or $20. So I threw 20. So and then some people put 5, whatever. And they went out and they bought all these tickets. And it was like 900, it was approaching $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
This is
So it was-
probably 2016. This was had to be 2016 because that's whenever I started my business. And I remember I quit and I'm like, these motherfuckers better still give me my Powerball money. And it was, I think it was Mega Millions, but regardless, what ended up happening is we got the first 4 balls and the ball.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you missed the fifth regular
what we
ball.
got, so what we won is 50,000.
Oh, okay.
If we would have got the first 5 balls, but not that ball, we would have won $1 million.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously if we would have got the one.
Yeah.
So like I ended up walking away with like $2,300.
That's pretty sweet.
So I'm
I mean,
up.
it's still a great story just to say you won like the lotto
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
kind
I
of
mean, you know what I
it's
mean?
kind of crazy.
That sucks though. You're one number away from like
I
life
would've-
changing
yeah,
money.
it would have been like $70 million.
Jeez.
But
That's crazy.
Dan would have definitely spent that on that hooker in Vegas, Sal.
I don't,
Wow.
Want to let you
only
know.
if my wife would join too. No, but the Powerball is interesting to me because I think like buying a ticket is like that little sliver of hope. Like
Yeah.
you buy the ticket and I didn't buy any tickets. I haven't bought a
Oh, we
fucking
did.
Powerball ticket
Like,
forever.
it was me and my cousin, like our close high school friends. We all put in $20, and we were like, waited for Friday, and we're just like, oh, looks like we're.
But you buy it, and what do? You get in the car, and you're like, oh, if I hit this, what would I do with it? You know.
Apparently, they take credit cards now. Before they were just cash only.
Yeah, they used to be like that. So.
The
But what have you done?
I mean, I obviously would have just like bought all the shit that I talk about, the yacht and everything. But I think I would still work. Like I fucking
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I
could
would.
never sit still.
I've actually thought about this a lot.
I couldn't not do anything of.
You would get bored. So the first thing I would do is I would tell all my friends, anybody who I thought was like in my circle, I would tell them to quit their jobs and they're going to work for me. Because what fun can you have if you have all these toys, but nobody can go with you? Right. So you got to have an entourage to follow you around. Right. And then I would allocate like say 10 or 15 million, probably.
I'd ask for a sign-on bonus though, because like if you kicked me out of the circle,
then I go back to their job.
Right. Yeah. And then I just gave up my career to be a part of your entourage. Yeah. So I would need a sign-on bonus.
That's
to protect that.
Yeah. That's actually great. I like that. Yeah. But I would actually buy up some businesses that would just essentially just cover my expenses for a whole year, even though knowing that whatever money I have sitting in some sort of investment fund is just going to cover all my expenses anyways. But that would also make me feel like I was part of it, to be like on like say like a board or something overseeing all these businesses. That's what I would do. And obviously anybody that was close to me, like I would be the guy that like if some cousin that I didn't even really fucking know was down their luck and they just needed someplace, I'd be like, here's a fucking house or here's a car or whatever. And don't ask again though. That you get it once, and after that, if you abuse it,
you get one wish.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm the genie.
With like family and money, it's kind of like this isn't a loan. This isn't anything. I'm gonna give you the 10 grand or whatever it is one time. Don't ask me ever again.
Yep.
And then you set the boundary there. You give the money. If it's a loan, there will always be animosity. So
always.
You never do the loan thing.
Yeah. So Shelby and I were talking about it because she bought a ticket because she was like, should we play this? And I never buy tickets, and she did. And she's like, what would we do if we won? She's like, you'd still work at your job, right? And I go, fuck no. And she's like, you wouldn't work? And I go, I would, but I would do something that I actually like really want to. It'd have to do something with sports, have to do something with music, like whether it's golf course or
you
it's
could
like,
do anything you wanted at that point.
I want to be like, I want to vacuum the fucking stage where right before Dave's about to play and just be able to watch every single show. Like I would literally, I would follow the band.
I thought it would have been something a little more intense than vacuuming before he went on.
Is what happens after the vacuuming.
Well, that's a keyword, vacuuming. Yeah. What do vacuums do?
Yeah. They suck, baby.
suck. So it like I really would absolutely quit if I won all that money, I'd quit my job. 100%. And I would go do something else. I don't even know if it would be
I mean, you could live a
or-
purpose-driven life.
Yeah, I could do exactly what I wanted to do, and it wouldn't. It's like she teaches, and it's like you would still teach and work for $30,000 a year if we just made 600 million cash. Like, no, I would call that job and be like, you're having premarital sex and get you fired from your Catholic school job. Like, what I would do.
She is gross,
right? I don't know with who, but
they say
maybe
like there's like documentaries and shit about the people that win, and then they lose all of it. I don't have any of that information.
So we talked about that last week, actually, whenever it was just Sal and I, and they said whether it's $1 million or $500,000, that 70% of lottery winners actually lose all of that money within 5 years.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like if you win $1 million, like I think
that's not going to last you forever.
Well, here's the thing: if you're making $50,000 a year, right, or you make $15 an hour or $13 an hour, and let's say you're like 45 years old, 50 years old, and you've always kind of like made that lower end wage. You're always like, man, if I only had $1 million, man, if I only had $1 million. Now you get $1 million, so you think, well, I'm set. And then but the thing with money is the more you have, the more you spend, because you get accustomed to like certain things in life. Yeah. And so like, it's just a fucking snowball, you know? And if you're not making any, it all just gone.
Yeah. $1 million isn't much, but you talk $1 billion, 600 million, you're good.
Yeah, it would be hard to fuck that up at that point. I feel like you would just somebody would take a decent amount of your money and just invest it, and you would just sit back and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
I'd give that money to someone else to completely handle everything for me, and just I would say make sure that the next 3 generations have no worries at all, and tell me how much I can spend a year.
Yeah.
Or at that point, if I had that much money, someone would probably need to tell me how much money I can spend per week or per month. Just like, hey, stay inside this budget.
And you can spend $39,000 a day.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm pretty sure I can stay under that budget.
And still, that's at 3% returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing on the lottery, did you guys watch that movie, Jerry and Marge Go Large?
No.
It's with Bryan Cranston. And basically, it's a true story. And the guy figures out how to beat this certain lottery. Like we have the pick 3 or whatever it is in Missouri, but like I think Michigan or Ohio, one of them was running this lottery game that he figured out that was mathematically beatable. And he beat it. But they would never hit the big one. It was like you would mathematically beat it by purchasing X amount of tickets, and then you wouldn't win the big prize, but you would win like the $4 on a $2 buy, or you would win, a ton of $6, whatever it is. And so he got the community involved and investors and all these things. So it was actually a pretty good movie.
I haven't seen that. Talking about somebody going broke though, what about Deshaun Watson?
Bro.
The thing that I don't understand and kind of pisses me off is like, all right, so NFL suspends him for what? 6 games. So it's literally a quarter per woman that he's like allegedly apparently did whatever bullshit. But so they suspend him for 6 games, but they suspend Calvin Ridley for a year for betting on his own team that he wasn't even playing because he was injured.
Yeah.
And that I don't make sense. And
that's the part that I just think like the justification for every player that's been suspended does not make sense so far. And who was the baseball player that just got suspended for 2 years? Who was that?
I'm not sure.
So I mean, I don't see where the NFL is coming up with what they do for like
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah. So Trevor Bauer.
Well, that was really bad.
Yeah, he got suspended for 2 years, right? But isn't that what did he do?
That was a domestic violence.
Yeah.
Domestic violence. So how is that?
He'll probably be in jail for 2 years.
But how is that worse than what Deshaun Watson was doing?
But okay, I have a theory, right?
What you
like
got?
these dudes, they're like some of these videos are insane. But like 6 games, he's a fucking star player.
Yep.
So does it matter who you are? Like if Mike Trout were to, you know what I mean? Like, does that matter? But they know it's going to keep happening, and they got to keep their star players on the field. So,
well, now they just released an article that their NFL wants Deshaun Watson to be suspended for the whole year.
Yeah, because they had the decision was announced on Monday or Tuesday morning, and apparently it's 3 days that the NFL has to appeal it, and because this lady works for the NFL who came out with the ruling, correct?
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I thought he was going to get at least half a season, if not 3/4 of the season. Whenever he got 6 games, I was a little surprised by that. Just because I would think with what was it, 25, 30 allegations of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, that they'd probably suspend him a little longer. But it just goes to show what athletes can get away with versus where if that were any one of us. Now, obviously, we're not getting suspended from things, but you'd be damn sure that we would not, unless we started our own business, we wouldn't have a job. And if we did start our own business, it'd probably be hard for us to get clients if they knew who the fuck we were.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like the amount of guaranteed money he's getting is kind of
he's getting paid anyway. So what's he care?
He won't
He's
get
going
paid for those first 6 games.
It's guaranteed, I thought. So isn't he just going to sit at home?
If he suspended those 6 games, he won't get paid for those 6 games.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it a little bit different than what I thought. So
yeah. So they have a little bit of a loophole, but yeah, pretty bizarre stuff with the Deshaun Watson shit.
So he gets suspended 6 games, but then the Dolphins was allegedly tampering with free agency, try to get Brady to sign with the Dolphins by offering him part ownership. So NFL fined the owner $1.5 million, and he's suspended until October.
The owner is?
Yeah, the owner is.
How do you suspend an owner?
Well, but what's wrong with like him being like, hey, I mean, at that point, Brady was retired or no?
And he was
Brady said he was retired.
He was retired. Okay.
And then he's trying to come back.
But isn't that just like, it's almost like part of your contract? Like, hey, I'm going to give you ownership. Like, that's a pretty decent deal. Like, well, I guess I don't know the ins and outs of it that make it like wrong, but I feel like that's just like a bargaining chip trying to get somebody to play for you.
But I don't think if a player were to sign with a team, they don't get the contract to get ownership. The only time the contract happened with ownership was when Raiders offered to John Gruden. but then all that emails came out, so that backfired on them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand it, but either way, I don't know what suspending the owner's going to do to anything.
Right.
And at the end of the day, $1.5 million to an owner of an NFL team is chump change.
They also took their first round draft pick.
He probably would have paid $1,000 for a hooker, Sal.
That was exactly what I was going to say. Is that he wouldn't have blinked at $1,000.
He was probably with $1,000 hooker when he took the call about the 1.5 and then went back to the hooker.
Or a $10,000 hooker.
Or
10.
$1,000. As long as it adds up to 10. 10 ones, 110, 2 5s. That's just quick math right there.
What else we got?
Shit's expensive. Oh, then MLB, the baseball trade line was yesterday, and the Cardinals did not get Juan Soto.
Yeah, I'm
Which
not
was
too
kinda
upset
bummed.
about it, to be honest.
Whatever. I'd take Otani.
Oh, yeah, I'd
Yes,
take
I wish
Otani
I wish
all
we
day.
went for him.
Soto he's young. They keep saying he's a generational talent. Whatever. You know,
I have his
Padres.
Padres gave so much.
They
Rookie card.
gave a lot, and I don't know. I'm skeptical. I don't think that Soto is going to be a powerhouse through the end of his 20s. I would say that right now.
So I should sell his card now.
maybe after he makes like a few more All-Star
But
games.
So I'm hoping we at least go for Shohei Otani next year. But we traded Harrison Bader. We got our pitching bolstered up, but I don't know if that'll make a big difference.
So I have a question about Otani. He plays for the Dodgers, right?
Angels.
Okay. He's the pitcher, correct?
Yeah.
But does he also hit?
He's
DH?
the pitcher hitter.
Like
That's
their
fucking
best.
phenomenal,
But
man.
he's like
That's-
literally
no
the
pitcher.
best MLB player right now.
You'll never see anything like that again.
I
That's
mean-
like Babe Ruth shit.
Yeah.
Because Babe
Yeah.
Ruth was a pitcher
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
which I don't think most people realize, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's like the second coming of Babe Ruth. So like even at this point in his, I guess
He's
in
28
his
right now.
career,
Babe Ruth.
he's a 262 batter. He's got 115 home runs in his career. This year alone, he's batting
What's his ERA?
255, 22 home runs from a ERA standpoint. Let's see here. Well, his career WAR is 5.2, so that's pretty good.
Wait, what's roar?
I don't even
Wins above
understand.
replacement.
Oh.
Pitching stats, he has where's ERA? There's so many statistics on here.
I need the ERA.
Yeah, that's important.
I feel like ERA would be tough.
3.28
Okay.
ERA.
So
what's-
Babe Ruth, the reason why I wanted that was a career 2.28 ERA, and he went 94 and 46.
What was his career batting average?
Uh,
So while you're pulling that up, this year Otani is a 2.81 ERA. And you got to remember,
So the
win-loss
lowest- the
record doesn't
lowest,
really matter
ERA
whenever
is
it
like
comes
the
to
his
best pitcher.
what's that?
The lowest ERA is like the best pitcher.
I mean, statistically, typically, yeah, that's just amount of earned runs per 9 innings pitched.
Okay.
So every 9 innings that he pitched, he gives up on average a little over 3 runs.
And then how do they like calculate the batting average?
That's just hits to at bats.
Okay.
342 career.
That's pretty good. Yeah. So
That's
it's interesting because there's just no other two-way player in baseball as far as
Yeah.
What's Otani's?
Otani's batting average.
I think he said 226.
No, his was a little
274.
higher. His was
274?
I can't remember what I said now.
Either way, that's
Either way,
impressive.
it's
Yeah.
for a pitcher. Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's like
he's
paying one
stud.
player.
262.
Yeah, exactly.
262, batting 255 this year. He's got pop. He can hit. He can throw. There's not anyone else like it, but yeah, not too upset about not getting Juan Soto.
What you think with the pitching and Harrison Bader?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't even really watch baseball.
I like
Yeah.
Harrison Bader. Ultimately, I think we just got to put the right players around guys like Arenado and Goldschmidt to keep them around. I think they're here to stay. I think Mo, even though people want to criticize him all the time, it's like you got to remember he got Arenado. He's brought in Goldschmidt. Granted, you have Wainwright and Yachty on their way out, right? I think they'll make some big moves in the offseason.
I hope
Otani.
so.
Or replace
Otani.
both of them. He can
Yeah.
pitch and catch.
He's that fucking fast.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm good on my end.
Yeah, I think it was
It was a
good.
good one. Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Cool. Thanks for listening,
Thanks so
guys.
much, guys.
It was
Later.